make it so. Welcome back, kids. So, a lot of things in life are hard. Guitar habits can make it harder. So we're trying to figure out, what have you given up?
Starting right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to take it there. What have you given up in your life in this quest to own more gear?
Tone.
I'm like, is it worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. The fact that we exist proves that.
I mean, cable was a no-brainer.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, you give up cable. And like, I mean, I've given up like heat before a little bit.
I've given up air conditioner in my car. Like, just not, riding around and sweating it out.
Yeah, I mean, you live in the South. It doesn't get warm here.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
It's
all in your mind.
No, and even like things like my car, like the radio broke, and I was like, I just don't need a radio. I have a Walkman. That's fine.
I feel like when you're really in it, like it's not even that you give up things. You just don't even consider spending money fixing or replacing those things because all your money is sort of earmarked for.
Well, you don't have any money.
Well, you don't have any money. And any little scrap of money you get is for, the upgrade, the next upgrade to the newest guitar.
And that's where the rub comes in, because this is like a 2-for-1 video. Like right here, like you're getting all sorts of great advice and terrible things. This is where financing comes into play.
Yeah.
And when financing goes haywire.
Because it can.
Or when the crap show that is financing falls upon your lap and you have to look at the mess you've made.
Yeah.
And your wife says, look, kids, you made this mess. You're going to have to clean it up. And the kid's like, Mom, we don't know what you're talking about. How do we handle financing? I don't know what percentage means yet. You're like, that's tough. Good luck, kids.
It's free money. Don't worry about it.
It is. Well, we've had a lot of that going around lately, so it's awesome. But no, so if you can't afford it, you've given up everything you can, and you still got this fix you got to fix. There's financing for you. Or some folks just have plenty of money. They still finance because you're getting free money until
it comes due. As long as you pay those equal payments,
everything's great, right?
It's fine.
What happens if you don't make your equal payments? Let's say you get all the way to the end and you just sort of forgot the last one.
Then all that interest, bam, is there.
What do you mean all that interest?
All the interest that you would have accrued the whole 12 months or 34 months or 36 months or 8,922 months. It all, bam, it's there. The last one was hyperbole.
That was cool. No,
couldn't really be that many months. You'd be dead.
I just don't understand finances. I don't have any background in the financial industry at all. So
according to YouTube comments, that's
just one
true.
Actually. It was one YouTube comment. I thought it was funny. I was going to respond, but I didn't have time because something else came up. We wanted to talk about guitars, something else. So I was like, I don't have time for that. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's dangerous.
It can be really dangerous.
It's really dangerous. I didn't really realize. I didn't realize how dangerous it was until I was younger. This was in my 20th year of life. And I remember one of my friends was getting ready to go off in the real world and he got hired by a credit card company. I was like, man, that's awesome. So what do you do? He's like, well, I'm actually out there for recruitment. I'm like, what do you mean recruitment? Like getting more people to work there? He's like, no, just to get credit cards to people. I'm like, cool. Like, do you just go for people with a lot of money and that are really pay off their bills and are safe? He's like, no, not at all. We go for people that have bad credit and don't pay their bills
because they're going to make more money. Yeah,
I was like, I just never thought about that. That's the credit card, and somebody at the credit card company like, that's not what we do. I'm like,
I mean, maybe less now, but probably not. Probably the same now.
Unless you're Apple and you're purely good and you do all things for good and happiness.
Because we all know that
all the computers if you walk into our shop, sometimes you're gonna see all 5 of us that are sort of the computer guys on our Apples at the same time. It looks ridiculous.
Kind of.
Because they all have these little airs and cool things, and I have the old box with the colors on the sides. I put it on my lap because I want to feel like I have something high tech too.
I mean, I think technically mine is vintage.
I think yours is.
That's what the lady at the Apple Store said.
Well, and the one we use our Apple for our desktop is vintage too.
It's
I think
vintage. Mine is in that
over
same
10 years.
Oh yeah.
That's vintage in the computer world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oops.
But hey, it still works. That's why we buy MacBooks, because they still work.
They do, and we don't have to worry about upgrading the drivers and stuff. And it's just it works until it stops,
and then
you get a new one.
Get a different one. Yeah, it's true.
I was gonna say that's how most people should treat husbands.
Oh yeah.
And then replace it, move on.
What if your husband never worked in the beginning?
You made a bad investment.
Sorry, Christy. You're stuck.
You bought the wrong computer husband. No, it's yeah, I would though. I've gone down this road. Like I've made some serious. I'm at a point right now. Well, I made some seriously like weird decisions just to get stuff.
Yeah.
Like because I've skimped on like movies and going outs and everything just to make this happen. That's sort of the normal. But like not paying like the heating bill was kind of a little bit crazy when you live in New York City and it's cold. But I was like, I gotta just get through this another month and a half and we'll be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
We turn the oven on a little bit and like stand by the oven a bit.
Yeah, that sort of works.
It kind of works for a minute. Then you go back and you just like go anywhere besides your house. I'm just gonna go out and walk the streets. It's a little bit warmer out there, I feel like. Oh.
When I was like, gosh, was I 20? I was really young, right? In first apartment, I was working in a guitar shop, and I was scheming on like buying guitars, but I had no money, so it doesn't really matter. But in my brain, I had like a dollar menu for McDonald's for probably a year solid.
That stuff was so good.
It's probably the only thing I ate.
I don't think
like
the dollar
once
menu
a day.
exists anymore.
I don't think it does either.
Next, I was there. I was at McDonald's the other day. I was like, "Where's the dollar menu?" And there's nothing.
It's like the $3 menu,
Yeah, it was something. I mean, we're older now. It's the same happens here at this guitar shop. We have a few of the guys on the team that are the younger cats that, they have bills and they're young and they're building families and like getting their own places and things and buying houses and all, but they still have gear lust.
Oh yeah, got
And
it.
so it's so funny because the minute like some great new piece of gear will come to the shops and I think, and they'll get it, and then you immediately see like on their own Facebooks and stuff like, hey, I'm selling
Things
X,
for sale,
Y, and
yeah.
Z. I'm selling like one of them sold his
juggle.
wife's car. His wife doesn't know about it yet.
Whatever.
That's gonna be funny to see how that works out. He's gonna be riding 45-minute bike rides to work. Not motorcycle bikes, bicycles.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
It's good for you. That's a health move right there.
It's like you could eat fermented shark for a year if you had to.
You're kidding.
You couldn't do that. I think that would kill you.
Rancid
horrible.
fermented shark.
I mean, speaking of
Iceland.
that, because that's Iceland, right?
That's
So
Iceland.
I'm getting distracted right now. I'm sorry, because last night, you've heard me talk about my mother sometimes. I took her to the movies. It was awesome.
What did you go see?
The Northman. For my second time, too. I've seen this story twice. I think it's great. It's definitely artsy, but my mom is really into Skarsgård, the lead actor, and she just couldn't wait until like he got on camera and like then he gets his shirt off and he's just murdering people. It's not like this pretty Outlander. He's not an Outlander, but that's more what my mom's used to.
Was that like her? That was her expectation.
No. She knew. I was like preparing. I was like, this is dark. This is dirty. It's not sweet. People get killed. Children die. And then there's some rape, just to like the cherry on top, just if you want to enjoy a film with your family. But she was so much fun because she was like, she brought her own little drink in, which was so adorable. It was just water, but she has her own little water she wanted to bring in. And she said, I don't want to pay for water. I'm like, I love you, Mom, because I don't want to pay for your water either. And then she gets in the chairs and they're reclining leather. She's like, oh my goodness.
Very nice. Nice in the theaters these days.
I know. She's pressing the buttons, going back and forth. Like, this is so much fun. She had such a good time. She's like, this is wonderful. I need to get one of these chairs in my house. Oh, Skarsgård. It was good. It was just a wonderful, and that fermented shark. That's why that came up because that's an Icelandic treat.
That's fair. There you go.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I apologize. I'll do better. But it's a great movie.
No, we won't.
Second time I pitched about it. We'll
That was a
try
lie.
to do better.
That was a lie.
I try.
Try. There is no try,
There's only
as
do.
Yoda would say.
I know. There's only do. But I am excited about Obi-Wan.
I kind of
I'm
excited about that too.
That looks really good.
See some like prime, like Vader in his prime,
Ah, yes.
wrecking Jedi, hunting them down.
Like Vader's gonna be slaying
I hope so.
things. I hope.
You better.
And they brought back Hayden, which is awesome as well.
That was good. That was a good move.
Yeah, so let us know your quests and your disasters with financing or your joys with financing. We did a video, I think came out recently, about how we think financing is going to be changing a bit. It's still being great. It's offered across the boards, but we have seen, even after the video that just came out, like we've already seen more things coming from the manufacturers of. I can tell the products are not moving as quickly off.
Right.
So there's going to be that offering. So be careful when you accept these finance. Making a deal with the devil sometimes. As long as you pay it off, it's amazing. But just miss that last one, you're in trouble.
And I still think we maybe were right that maybe the like 48/36 month might become more scarce.
It's still going to hold at Sweetwater.
Sure.
GC musicians friends. I think a lot of the indies are going to have tougher times with it just because the financing bills that we get hit with
It's just eating into your margin points.
It's pretty hardcore. So it's just Let us know that way. I'm curious to see what the journeys have been and what you've given up to feed your habit, to buy that $15,000 double neck thing you have to have for some reason. Because like, there's one that I'm scheming on right now. I can't talk about. It's top secret.
Secret.
There's some really cool things I'm looking at. This is gonna ruin my life.
Have you ever done a bad finance, where you were like, oh, this is a poor decision?
No, I avoid financing.
I have
What
when I
happened to
was
you?
a young lad. Well, there was a year and a half there when I was early on playing, where I had sold all my electric guitars and I had a few acoustics. And so then I decided I needed, after about a year and a half, I was like, okay, I need a good guitar. So I went to McFadden Music in North Charleston.
Fayetteville or Charleston.
This was in North Charleston.
This is when they expanded.
I don't know. They wasn't huge there, but it was like a little storefront. It closed later.
Continue.
Scott Benevinich, who I think that's his name, was Edwin McCain's bass player, but he also happened to work at this McFadden Music, which I thought was really cool.
Welcome to life of musicians.
Maybe, there you go. So all sorts of cautionary tales over. Anyways, financed that day a Highway 1 Telecaster.
Yeah.
And a Digitech, like GNX, like some kind of whatever the fanciest thing
Was it the rack mount?
No, it was a floor thing.
And you still have both of these pieces today, right?
God no. But so when you finance it, they give you a little credit card. And I thought, ta-da! And actually, I used that credit card to buy a friend of mine a guitar, which is wonderful. I would still make that choice again.
Okay.
But I didn't pay it all. In time, like in the time period. And I was like, holy crap, this cost me how much? It was a good lesson for young Jonathan to learn.
They just need to learn how like the credit whole thing works. You're not taught that as a dumb musician.
No one said, hey, here's how these things work. Here's what
It's like overdraft fees at your bank.
I mean, I had it in the back of my God, no, get you. Young Jonathan learned that too.
Chick-fil-A. All of a sudden, you're paying for that one tomorrow when you don't eat. It's that's a good cautionary tale. I've avoided financing for guitars almost always. I just don't get it if I can't afford it usually.
Yeah. No, that was because I think that like, I mean, God, it's crazy to think how much that less than $1,000 back then ended up costing me.
How much?
Lots. I don't remember, but
like $1,250.
But I remember thinking, God, I paid a lot of interest.
Yeah,
for those three things.
Well, it can be like 25%.
Yeah.
And, and they're not forgiving.
And that was so much money to me back then. I was like, good Lord. I mean, it's a lot of money now, but it was like the world then,
You cough $250 out. You're like, that's dinner.
That's right.
For the month.
For a lot of ramen with $250.
I know. Well, thanks again for joining us. Click like and subscribe.
Don't forget the bell.
If you've enjoyed this meandering joy.
Or if you haven't, it doesn't matter.
You should just click. Yeah. That way you can say mean things. Make sure you don't forget to sign in to say mean things.
That's what we love.
Don't do that. Please just be kind.
It drives us.
Just be kind to everyone out there. Do something nice to some stranger today. I dare you.
That would be great.
I'm going to do it today too. I just did it myself.
Weird.
And I'm back to push-ups.
Strange.
I'm going home.
There are no strangers here.
Good night.